behind you.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Hi. Welcome to EdTech in the Bend.
Did I tell you we're live?
No, I saw the red button there.
Okay.
It's 12 o'clock, right?
Yeah. Thanks for the 3, 2, 1. All right. Hi, my name is Matt Modlin. I'm the Director of Technology for School City of Mishawaka and co-founder of EdTech in the Bend. We are pleased to welcome Ben Domonkos today. If you're joining us on YouTube, you can actually do a back channel and introduce yourself and tell us where you're watching from. Same thing with Facebook, and we'll share those up here. So we already have 26 comments coming up here, so we can share those as you're coming in. We'll use this as an opportunity.
You should also tell us your favorite kind of cookie to make Ben jealous of all the cookies.
Well, since we have a moment, I'm live and talking. Monster cookies are my very favorite. They have everything in them, so you can't go wrong, right? How about Ben? Ben, what's your favorite kind of cookie?
Chocolate chip, for sure, 100%, hands down. Oh man, we've got some people that we need to get on here. So, can I tell them this now, Matt?
Yes,
Did you
please
officially pass the mic or no?
Yes, Ben, go ahead and take it away. Thanks.
Oh, great. So one, we've got 4 people right now. We can have up to 10. We need some volunteers to be on stage. So please comment your email. Matt will send you a link to get in. I think.
We'll make it happen. This is audience participation.
Yes, very much so.
So you're not asking them to do a whole lot, right? Like,
I hope not.
You're not going to hey, and so you're going to talk about us with this today. You just need some demonstrations.
I'm working on the side eye right now, but that could be very much a possibility.
All right. Well, join in, everybody. Be brave.
Where's Bradley? Bradley should be putting his email in that chat box right there.
Let's see here. I want to do this Chrome tab right here. All right, my screen sharing now, is it good?
We got to wait for Mr. Ponder to moderate and bring that in.
Oh.
He's on it.
Can anybody else see my screen? We can look at the comments. Oh yeah, Erica Watkins.
Yeah,
I see a screen share, but I don't know if anybody else can.
I can see your screen.
You can see it now. Okay, good, cool. So we're talking about zones of regulation today, which is super exciting. And you might be thinking, man, that guy looks familiar. How do I know him? For those of you who don't know, I was the 2017 winner of the EdTech in the Bend Demo Slam. So yeah, big winner. In 2017, I had to give up the title in 2018 to Jeff Hardman. And then in 2019, there was no Demo Slam. So very disappointing, but there was some pretty sweet actions going on from there. So I'm Ben Domonkos. I'm the principal at LaSalle Elementary in Mishawaka, Indiana. But first and foremost, I'm a husband and a father. You've got a picture of my wife, Sarah. Our 4 children, Mary, Gwyneth, Ozzy, and Malcolm. And I have my email there that you're happy to contact me for whatever. So just a little bit about LaSalle before we get started, because this practice could be something that you want to take in your school. And you may say, hey, how does that fit with what we are dealing with? So LaSalle is a pre-K through 6th grades elementary. We have about 460 students, 84% free and reduced. And we have about 21 students with disabilities. Over 17% are not speech only. And so we were looking at our school improvement plan. I was a first-year principal and looking at what was wrong with our scores. Why were we getting low ELA scores? Why were we getting low math scores? What was going on? And so we did a root cause analysis, the 5 whys. So we were asking why. So we have low test scores. Why? Missed instruction. Why? And we came down to our root cause was student behaviors. And so that's what we really wanted to address from day one. And so we came up with 3 strategies. One is introducing and using morning meeting, much like responsive classroom for my friends in South Bend. whole brain teaching, which is something that we did at Tarkington and Swanson when I was there, and then zones of regulation. And that's a new one for me, but it's been something that's been super powerful. And so we use that to address our exceptional learners, our students with IEPs, and really help people to be self-regulated. So here's where the interaction part comes in. So I'm not whole brain teaching certified, so I wanted to do a whole brain teaching session, but I'm not certified, so I can't do a training on that. But we're going to use some of the techniques that Coach B has been doing. If you haven't done whole brain teaching or have never heard of it, you need to go to wholebrainteaching.com right now. Well, not right now, at 1 o'clock, and get going on that. Whole brain teaching is a life changer. It's a game changer. It's something that we're doing school-wide here at LaSalle, and we're addressing virtual instruction. So it's something that I feel like has to be done as a building leader is whatever we're doing instructionally has to be able to be replicated online. So it's super really important that we do that. So we're going to look at some of the golden keys. These are straight from Coach B, founder of Whole Brain Teaching. So this is where audience participation comes in. So I've got three friends right now. The first thing is framed up, tight headshot. So like Matt, you can hold the camera so that we can see when you put your hand on your head, we don't want to see your hand. Mr. Ledoux, you got to sit up, brother, and you got to have your hand on your head and tilt that camera down. I don't want to see your hand. You're going to be in the front row when we're instructing you on zones of regulation. Nice. Very nice, Mr. Modlin. Allison, looking good. Okay, so that's the first thing is that we're going to have our head in a tight headshot. Number two, we're going to have continuous gestures. And when I'm talking and using my gestures, guess what? So are you. So, Matt, we're looking for you to move your hands. Ed, you're moving with me. So when I'm moving this, when I do this, you do that. Okay? What that does is allows me to see my students are engaged. Really important. Number three, we need to stay short. So a lot of times teachers talk and never stop talking. We have to be short, especially online, because we know the kids are going to get distracted on the TV with their mom making popcorn in the microwave or whatever. So it's really, really important that we keep it short. The fourth part that I want to talk about is the handoff with review. So, Mr. Modlin, I'm going to hand it off to you, and you're going to go over the 4 parts of virtual instruction. Go. Oh, wait, with manners. So when I hand it off to Mr. Modlin, he's going to put his hands right here, and he's going to say, thank you, and I'm going to say, you're welcome, because we're incorporating solidarity 100% of the time. So, Matt, to you. You're welcome. Don't forget to unmute yourself.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's where those hand motions come in, right? So number 1 of online learning is keep it short. Number 2, frame it in so that you have your head tight. Making continuous hand gestures. And hand off the review with manners. So, Mr. Ledoux, am I doing all right?
You got to say thank you. You got to say please, or I'm not accepting it.
Oh, Mr. Ledoux, please.
Thank you. Number 1,
You're welcome.
keep a tight headshot. 2, continuous hand gestures. Number 3, we've got to keep it short. And number 4, remember your manners. So I'm passing it down to Allison. Please review the golden keys of virtual instruction.
Thank you. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Number 1, we're going to frame our headshot so we can't see our hand above our head. 2, continuous hand gestures. We're going to get our Madonna on. 3, we're going to keep it short. And 4, we're going to hand it off with manners. Benny, it's back to you up there, please.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And when we say you're welcome, the whole class says you're welcome. So when I say thank you, the whole class is going to say you're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Nice. Excellent. All right. The last thing I want to throw in, because I didn't put it in there, but we have to praise. So you guys did a great job. So we're going to give Matt a 10-finger woo. So it's going to be like this. Put your hands up like this, and you're going to go and give him a woo like that. And Matt, you're going to receive the woo by saying thank you. So woo's up.
Woo's up.
Give Matt a 10-finger woo. Woo!
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Boom. So we're integrating manners all the time, whether we're talking about zones of regulation or anything else. Okay, so what is self-regulation? So you've heard of it called as self-control, self-management, or impulse control. But it's the ability to have sensory input controlled, emotions. And we're going to look at impulses. How do we match an environment or a situation? How do we reach our goals based on self-regulation? So we're going to pass it off to Allison. Allison, tell us, what is self-regulation?
You didn't say please?
Allison, please.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Self-regulation is self-control, self-management, and impulse control. It's the ability to regulate one's sensory needs, emotions, and impulses in order to meet the demands of the environment, reach one's goals, and behave in a socially appropriate way. This is very exhausting.
Good.
Yeah.
And you don't have to
No, I
pass
was
it to
gonna
everybody else. It's okay.
I know, I'm like
So-
sweating.
That's good. See, we're intense. Like, you're already getting a workout. Like, your watch is telling you don't even have to stand up, even though you're sitting down. It's not great.
Yeah.
And something to think about when we're passing off and having everybody else give instruction, it allows us to hear other voices. We're really activating that whole brain. It's really, really important. All right, so let's go to the next slide. So there are 3 parts. Let me see your fingers, guys. 3 parts of the neurological components. So we have to have that sensory, we have to have the executive, and we have to have that emotional regulation. So, Mr. Ledoux, I'm gonna pass it off to you. Go over the 3 parts of the neurological components. Please.
Okay. All right. Okay. 3 critical neurological components are the sensory processing, the executive functioning, and then this one, the emotional regulation.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so 10, yeah, let's give him a 10-finger woo. We got to put the woos up. This is one of Coach B's favorites. They're going to do the piggyback woo right here. Piggyback woo. Woo!
Woo!
Oh my gosh, pause the show. One, Mr. Ledoux, when we give you a woo, you got to say thank you. And we'll say
thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you.
I have to interrupt this show. Like, I'm pausing the screen share for a second. This is that important, okay? My mother is a South Bend school teacher over 30 years, and we were a little disappointed that EdTech in the Bend was virtual, because at EdTech in the Bend, this is a lunchtime session, people. What do we have at lunchtime? We've got our chicken filet sandwiches. We've got our cookies. I totally forgot my prop. I need to take a little mid-session break for some chicken sandwich. Thank you. All right. We keep it professional around here, folks. They don't know what to think. All right, so we're back on screen share. Let me chew my bites for a second while everybody takes a break, because my participants had no idea that this is what it was going to be. And is Ponder going to get anybody else in here? We had some people put down their emails. People are revoking their emails.
They backed out.
I don't see the emails.
They didn't need a lunchtime workout.
They're way up there.
Oh, there's one. I got one. All right.
You going to put it in, Matt?
That was probably me slacking because I didn't send them the join email.
Okay, so
We're on it.
you got it? I can't wait. Like, Erica, we're going to have a great time. Amy Troyer, I saw you in there. Where are you at? Why are you not in on this call just to talk to me? I don't want to talk to you really doing this. And Sarah Newton, you should really be in here too, because you know all these golden keys. Okay, so we're back to it. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Ready.
Good. Chad was in this less than a half an hour before I texted him. Okay, so we have our 3 neurological components, right? Come on, give me your hands now. I want to make sure that I'm looking and seeing my students are engaged, okay? The first one is the sensoring processing. So how does our nervous system make sense of information? Okay, so we're going to use the example of a fire alarm like wah, 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 versus a car alarm. Beep, 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 beep. Our brain knows that a fire alarm, I need to stand up, I need to follow my procedures, whether that's I'm in a class and I need to follow this route or whatever. With the car alarm, we still get those same inputs and maybe that annoying sound. However, come on, give me a however, folks.
However,
the cat came back. We can dismiss that car alarm. Oh, that's somebody else's. It doesn't bother us. We can move on with our day. So, sensory processing. Matt, I'll pass it off to you.
sensory processing is how our nervous system makes sense of information to create an appropriate response. You got the fire alarm, or the car alarm, beep, 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 and the ability to modulate the amount of sensory input in order to focus.
So that brings up a great point. Thank you, Matt.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Very good. Oh, Newton said she's going to get in. There's another email here, Matt. Make sure you're getting these people in here. I don't know if I can
really
see
hard to be to work in this and move my hands at the same time. I can't be distracted. This is great.
Okay, see, that's the beauty of it. Lindsay Beckham says she wants to be in too, I think. So the ability to modulate. So let's talk about the sensory processing for one more minute. I'm gonna give Matt a second while we talk. So we'll do hands and eyes. When you do hands and eyes, you put your hands like this and you kind of lean in. This is a really important part. So you don't have to do any gestures or anything like that. The ability to modulate the amount of focus, the sensory input. So this is when Chad's driving around, Sullivan, Indiana. He's going over to Terre Haute, little worried. Traffic gets busy. That's a big town, Terre Haute. Compared to Sullivan, you're going to have a lot more cars. He's getting lost. What does he do? He's going to turn that radio down. He's reducing his sensory input so he can focus on what he needs to do. There's a lot going on with that fire, with that Terre Haute traffic. Okay. All right. So sensory processing is 1. 2. These are the neurological components. The executive functioning. So it's our command center. How are we thinking about this? So attention shifting. And we listen to me talk and do movements. It's obviously a struggle for some. 2, we're going to plan. We have our working memory, and we have that impulse control. That's the executive functioning. Okay, Matt, Chad, you are up. I'm passing it off to you. Don't forget to receive my handoff, please, with a thank you.
Thank you, Ben. Cognitive process.
You're welcome.
Are involved in control of thoughts and actions. So you have this command center, and it involves things like your attention shifting and multitasking and planning and your working memory and that impulse control.
Awesome. Thank you. Let's give Chad the wiggly waggly woo. Woo!
Woo!
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, number 3, we got those emotional regulation. Okay, Matt, you got people in yet?
I sent the link. We're waiting on them to join. They just need to check their email, and then we got to get Ponder on it to add them in.
Oh gosh,
Where did
that's like we have some really
go?
exciting people joining.
He went to lunch. He's eating.
He's eating Chick-fil-A.
This Chick-fil-A is probably being delivered right now.
Oh,
Ponder.
whoa. Speaking of which, Mr. Ponder, are you too worried about being a part of our show here?
No, I'm just letting other people participate. It's a lot more fun. I want to learn from them. I want to learn from you.
I'm pretty sure he just saw Godzilla with that audio video connection.
We're gonna give Mr. Ponder a wiggly waggly for running everything for us.
He'll receive it in 10 minutes. All right. Did he, Seth, are you adding people to this or no?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm
and talking.
Yeah.
I'm emailing and trying to keep up and trying to get the internet not to crash.
Okay. This was a good break for everybody. And keep that in mind that we want to keep it short. but we want to have our instruction, represent our kids. Okay, so we're back to it. 3 is the emotional regulation. Okay, I always think of crying when I'm thinking of emotions. I don't know why, but I'm getting emotional just looking at Chad Ladoon. We need to be able to monitor, looking at it, evaluate, and we need to modify. So depending on where we're at, if we're in the library, okay, we have to have different emotions than if we're outside for recess. Sarah Newton's in. Sarah, I'm passing it off to you right off the bat. Emotional regulation. Talk to me about it, Sarah.
Pause your stream though, and you'll need to unmute.
Oh.
I'm going to sit here and pretend that the internet froze like Seth.
Yeah, figure out how to talk without moving your lips.
That's why it has them covered, so you can't tell.
Hey guys, how are you? All right. Seth, did you get Sarah in or not? What's going on, Sarah?
She was in. She jumped out. She's hopefully coming back.
Okay. Sarah, we're moving on. Okay.
He's amazing. You see that?
I was ready. Monitoring.
Oh, dude. Allison, passing it off to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so 3 emotional regulations, processes that are responsible for controlling emotional reactions in order to meet your goal, monitoring, evaluating, and modifying. Intensity and time of an emotional response. Oh, emotional.
So we think about that. I'm going to bring in my wife for a second. When she's had a rough day with the children, and all I did was forget to close the cabinet door, her emotional response might be more intense than if it was a great day with the kids and we'll just close that door and not say a word. So we have to think about that emotional regulation. Sarah, I love you. She doesn't have Facebook, but she's definitely not watching on YouTube. And what?
You're a brave man.
Oh, that's okay. Hey, I'm a principal. She's a stay-at-home mom. Her job is way harder than mine. I definitely give my wife a 10-finger woo. She's able to do I'm able to do what I can do because of my wonderful wife. Erica, you're in.
Oh, hi.
Hi, Eric. How are you?
A little confused.
You're excited. That's what's important. Okay, so Aristotle said, I'm going to let you read this quote.
Anyone can become angry. That is easy, but to be angry with the right person to the right degree at the right time for the right purpose and in the right way, this is not easy.
So that was said way back when. So we know we have students who struggle with that component. It's really, really important. We allow grace. I truly believe that. So all 3 of these components depend on each other. So we have the sensory, we have the executive, and we have the emotional regulation. If one goes down, self-regulation's diminished. Matt, talk about how all 3 depend on one another. That component is really. Oh, and my wife is on. Oh gosh.
Thank you.
So all 3.
So I was doing emailing things and I didn't pay attention.
Okay, so am I wrong or is my computer lagging really bad?
Yeah, do you have it on in YouTube in another tab or something that you can just click out of?
I think so. Let me try.
Talk about how all 3 depend on one another. All right.
Okay.
Allison, take it away.
Thank you. All 3 depend on one another. And if one is out, then sensory does not, or self-regulation does not add up.
Yeah, it's diminished.
Diminished. That's a big word.
Yeah. Allison, let's give her a rolling woo. So you're going to go like this, okay?
Oh.
Woo!
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So hands and eyes. This is an important part. So we're gonna slow down the emotions and talk. So lean in close, especially if you're just watching. You guys got so lucky. I signed up for this thinking I had a Zoom with people that I could actually talk and see. So you folks at home that are just like, thank God I'm not Matt, Chad, or Allison right now. You're welcome. Okay, thank them. But lean in. Okay, even though you're not on camera, lean in. Okay. Challenging kids are challenging because they lack the skill not to be challenging. Kids don't come to school to want to just cause ruckus. Okay, we have to teach them those skills. Instead of modifying behavior based on manipulating consequences, getting those treasure boxes, or whatever, we need to focus on the underlying deficit. What is it that they need in those three processes? It's huge. Chris Biffle, Coach B, one of my good friends. I called him up when we were adopting whole brain teaching, and he has worked with us since October for free. It's insane. He says in his book, Rascal X, if you take the view that the problem is your pupils, there isn't much you can do. If you take the view that you're the problem, then there's enormous hope because you control that. Transform kids by transferring how you relate to them. So really thinking about that is just huge. Oh, we got Jen Posey in here too now. Oh, man. Hi, Jen.
Hello.
So, and Brad, look at this. We're just jumping in like crazy. Okay, so it brings us to zones of regulation. And there's enormous hope. What you there's somebody, I can hear myself talking.
I think if you're joining us, if you could pause or close the YouTube or Facebook that you're watching on your computer, that'll take care of our echo. Perfect.
Or I'll stop talking.
Thank you.
You're welcome. In that manners, that thing, see, like Matt did those manners naturally. When we incorporate it into our instruction, it's going to make those manners easier. Who doesn't want nicer kids? Who doesn't want a kid that says please and thank you and you're welcome? Really, really important that we do this at every junction of what we've got going on, whether it be we're teaching reading, we're teaching math, we're talking about zones of regulation, or Chick-fil-A. Doesn't matter. Okay, so it's super, super important. All right, Jen, Brad, you guys ready? We got some noobs. We're ready to roll. I'm excited. Okay. So the zones of regulation is going to use that cognitive behavior to teach students to think how they think about their behavior. Think about it. Don't be mad about it. Think about it. It teaches kids to recognize, categorize what they're doing into 4 zones. This is my zones piece. And then the last part is we're going to give them the tools, the strategies to cope with and move between those zones. Jen, I'm passing it to you. Talk about the 3 parts of zones of regulation.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so the zones of regulation uses a cognitive behavioral approach. What? Oh, hands. Sorry.
That's okay.
To teach kids to think about their behavior, teaches kids to recognize and categorize their feelings, and communicate them by using 4 different colors. Teach students various tools and coping strategies to move between zones.
Awesome. Thank you, Jen.
Thank you.
All right, who's up? Chad's calling for the piggyback woo. Woo! And then, Jen, you say thank you. We're all going to say you're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Awesome job. All right, so what are the zones, you ask? Let me tell you. There is our blue zone, our green zone, our yellow zone, and our red zone. We want students to mostly be in the green zone. Then they're happy, they're calm, they're feeling okay, they're ready to learn. The yellow zone, we're starting to get frustrated or worried. Maybe we're a little over silly. That my daughter Mary, 6-year-old, she gets silly. She gets in the yellow zone. I'm going to talk about those too. Brad, you're up, buddy. Talk about the green zone and the yellow zone. Passing it off to you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hey, we got
You're
4
welcome.
zones.
We got the blue zone. We're sad. We're sick. We're tired. We're bored. We're moving slow. We want to move out of that zone if we can. We want to stay in the green zone. Green zone, happy, calm. I'm feeling okay. I'm focused. I'm ready to learn. We want to try to also stay out of that yellow zone where we're frustrated, we're angry, we're worried, we're overly silly, excited. We lose a little bit of control. And then the red zone. Definitely want to stay away from being mad, angry, yelling, hitting. Well, hitting, it's remote, so it's all right. And then elated or out of control. So those are our 4 zones. And we want to, again, stay focused in that green zone. And thank you so much. And please take over.
Hey, woo's up. We got to give Woo. I'm going to call this the dab woo. We got to give him the woo right there. Nice job, Brad. Woo!
Woo! Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
All right. So we can think about this like a stoplight. I'm like, give me the See, we got to have that fun. We're getting at a half an hour, 31 minutes because we started late. No comment on who caused us to start late. But we're going to look at this as a traffic light. No kids don't drive, in elementary, but they've seen their parents drive. So at a stoplight, what do? You've got to stop. You've got to regain control. When you get to that yellow light, you're slowing down. Take warning. Green light, you're good to go. Again, what Brad said, ready to learn. Blue, pull over, rest. Let's recharge. We need to be back in the green before we're ready. Matt, passing it off to you. Talk about how zones can be compared to a stoplight.
Right. When you're red.
Don't forget to say thank you. Tell Matt he's still cool. Tell Matt he's still cool. I like this.
Still cool.
Matt, you're going to say thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Passing it off to Matt.
All right. So the zones can be compared to a stoplight. With green, you're good to go. You're feeling good about things. The yellow is to slow down and take heed and warning of your emotions. And then the red light is stop and regain control. And there are times where you're going to need to blue, pull over and rest and recharge.
Especially when you're camping. Let's give Matt a rolling 10-finger woo. Woo!
Woo!
Awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
All right, so the important points. Here they are. Everyone experiences all of the zones. And we're going to say hands and eyes. We'll give you a rest. Okay? People are getting worried about you guys. I know that Matt's socks are off right now. Everyone experiences all the zones. Certain zones, we don't say that they're good or bad. What we want is we want students to match the zone with the situation and the environment. If you're at a funeral and you're in the green zone, that might be a problem, or you didn't love the person very much. We need to match it for appropriate. We can be in the blue zone, but it should be when it's blue zone appropriate. We're going to talk about the word expected behaviors. When we have students in the green zone, we have to recognize them. Hey, I love that you're in the green zone. Really, really important. Because we don't want them to just see this as a negative. We only call them out when they're in the red zone. They're going to hate the zones of regulation. I hate them thinking about that. And hate's a strong word. And then the last thing is we have to praise students when they get back to the green. Key here is that we're not saying a zone is bad. We're saying we need to get back to the green. We have to be appropriate with our zones. So when we see a kid get back to the green, that slide right there, we need to praise them. We need to talk them through that and see that and recognize. All right, let's talk about our families. How many of you are parents? How many of you are parents? I have 4 kids. Cal, you got what, 2? Matt, you got 3? Matt, you got how many? 7? 7? Brad, how about you?
2.
2. Let me get a like or a comment that says I'm a parent.
I have a dog.
I'm not even looking at this screen. I'm looking at the thing. I'm waiting to say, hey, I'm a parent. We're getting audience participation. Do we have to update the screen? Is that the problem? Can people no longer hear us or what?
No, we're still live.
This is so awkward. Oh,
There's
hey,
one. Justin Gruber.
Oh
You
boy,
know that? Do you have kids, Justin?
he's not a parent. Okay, well, you know what? That's a failed attempt. But you know what? When I learned zones, immediately we started bringing it in with our 4 kids. I
There
had
we
a
go.
2-year-old.
There's the lag. We got one. Becky Sue has 3
Hey,
kids.
Becky, you saved the day. Let's all get everybody. Let's give Becky a 10-finger woo for saving the day. Classic. Woo! I can feel you from there saying thank you. You were awesome, Becky. You just made my day. When I write a book, I'm just sending you one for free. We've got the book title. We just don't have any words for it.
Just blank paper.
Chick-fil-A
Right?
cookies.
Teach like it's Friday. That's what it's called. Don't steal that. Ladoon's looking at him. He's like ready to roll in. Okay, so we started making this immediate with our kids. I have my 2-year-old. He says, Dad, I'm in the yellow zone, and runs off. He's starting to hear it. Even though he doesn't understand it all the way, we're using the vocabulary and strategies. Back to my point. Oh, Teresa's cats love it. We were sent home with children with no manual, no how-to book or anything. That's huge. We've got to provide, and we're all educators here, most of us. We've got to provide our parents with some sort of resource for dealing with the kid that's mad. Because we have to remember that our children, we love them dearly, but they're not our friends. They're our kids. That's really important. So we're giving these parents a resource. Zones is so simple. That's the huge takeaway for me, is that it's so simple. I hope that people leave this session and be like, that was it. I'm glad he made a fool of himself, and he's great at clowning, but that was it. So Zones offers vocabulary sheets and a parent letter you can engage your families with. We're teaching the zones, okay? There's 3 parts. Introducing, I don't know why I said that. Exploring, we're going to explore. That was from Allison. I loaned that one from Allison. And we're going to learn when to use and apply tools. So those are the 3 parts that we're going to go. I'm kind of speeding up a little bit. I know Jen wants to talk again, but you know what? We only have 16 minutes, and I'm going to try my best to get through all of this. Here's lesson 1. You're going to take all these emotions, and kids build the poster. They build it. They put it up one by one, and it's not only in your classroom as a resource, but it's something that is an experience we're sharing together. We're going digital. I mean, South Bend's going e-learning. Mishawaka, we're not sure yet. But Chad Ladoon, are you going virtual yet? Sullivan's
Half
not
and half.
Huh?
No. We have a digital, we have an e-learning option. That's what we have.
Okay. Kids are going to need zones of regulation on that e-learning option, that virtual option. So same exact thing. Let me see if I can do this. I have to make it. So I did this seriously an hour ago. And I'm going to escape out of this. We're just going to drag down. You can do that same thing. Okay, yelling. Which zone do you think that would be in, people? Let me hear your comments.
Red.
Red zone. Yeah,
Red.
we're getting this application. Hurt. You're hurt.
Blue.
Yellow.
Blue zone. Yeah. Frustrated.
Yellow.
I don't know what it is.
Maybe this is like a meter. Is it somewhere in here? Like you're frustrated, you could be getting on the verge of mad. What's it depend on?
Right.
Thankful. Which one's that? That's the easy one.
Green.
Right.
So most people at home right now, not on this video camera, are thankful. You're in the green zone. That's very cool. But an easy way that we can take something that's not virtual, not digital, make it such. I'm going to go back to present here. Hold on. Let me make sure I didn't pick my computer. Here in Mishawaka, we've got these things called PCs. I know South Bend's got the 3-letter MAC word. But this is something we can easily integrate into a virtual session. All right. Lessons. I gave you a break. Now we're getting back up. You guys are getting tired. I can see Brad sleeping over there. He's like falling asleep. That's what. Oh, he's off camera. Back. Oh, he's back. He's okay. Woo! All right. So we're going to look at three components: expected versus unexpected. Instead of saying a bad behavior or a good behavior, I'm going to say, was that an expected behavior? This is one of the teacher's favorite lessons. What if teachers were off task? So what you do, you get your class coming in and you act a fool. You act like a kid might. I'm going to go pull Johnny's hair. I'm going to go knock some papers over. And what does that teach the kids? It teaches that I wouldn't expect my teacher to do that. Is it a bad behavior? Well, more than likely, but we're talking expected versus unexpected. Why is it not expected for a teacher to do that? Well, shouldn't a student be in that same category? Allison, talk about expected versus unexpected. Passing it off to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We have expected and unexpected behaviors. We need to ask them, was this an expected behavior? Because what if teachers were off task? Just like I was when you just called on me, because I have to go get ready for another meeting. So I was trying to get Seth to take me out of the phone call.
Wow. Thank you for that.
Benjamin.
Allison, let's all give Allison a 10-finger woo before she leaves. Woo!
I give you a 10-finger woo for your session.
Hey, thank you.
You're welcome.
We keep it moving around here. All right, we have 12 minutes. I'm gonna skip this. I want to get to this video. Let's see. Hold on, I gotta click on the actual.
Well, that is just turning off your 2018 texture and pre-mail. And I think that is it. And that's better than $20 for them to go, oh, you mean. Yeah.
Scroll back to the silent movies. That's not bad.
So I'm sorry, I didn't realize that the sound didn't work. I don't know why. I was busy eating apparently. But we use this. So now the sound's gonna work apparently. We use this to kind of make a connection. So we did this. This is one of the lessons, is to attach zones to a video. And so allowing kids to apply what they know about the zones. So the first step is really for kids to understand what the zones are. I'm going to skip through a couple slides. That means you guys are off the hook. When are the zones appropriate? Walks them through some activities of when they're appropriate, when not. And what do I look like when I'm in a zone? So if I'm in the red zone, what are my clues? How do I know I'm in the red zone? It might look different for Matt than it does for me. But kids can focus on what they look like in a zone. And when I feel in this zone, how do I feel? When I'm in the red zone, I don't like it. I'm hot, sweating, worried. Oh, sorry, Kimberly. It's the movie's Inside Out. Yes. 3 types of tools. We're getting through this fast. I'm sorry. There's sensory. Okay, we talked about that regulation need. There's calming techniques, and that thinking strategies. So there's different tools that you can get and use. All sorts of different ones. We have sensory, thinking about how we can really get the kids' sensory input in check. So is it that they need to squeeze a stress ball or do whatever, allowing them to teach effectively how to do it. Calming techniques, breathing. This is the 6 side. So we breathe in, hold it, then you breathe out. Oh, I'm off camera, sorry. Breathe in, hold it, breathe out. So there's different ways that you can teach these strategies, but we have to give the kids, we can't just teach them about the zones. We need to teach them how to get to regulate to the appropriate zone. The thinking strategy. So you're thinking about a problem, a size of the problem. My daughter thinks that it's a huge problem when she loses a toy. Whereas in my head, I'm thinking it's a little problem. Addressing what they believe to be a big problem versus a little problem. It's really important. And then when you have these tools, looking at how I can apply them for each zone. Because what I need in the blue zone, I might not need in the red zone. So an overview, 6 minutes. Students can do what? Identify the appropriate zone for the environment. Understand when they are in an unexpected zone. So if you're being wild and crazy and silly in the library, that's the unexpected zone. Use these tools, use the tools and strategies to get back to green. Matt, tell me about what students can do.
Students can identify the appropriate zone for the environment. They can understand when they are in the expected zone. I forgot to say thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Understand when they're in an unexpected zone and get back into that expected zone. Use those tools and strategies to get back to green.
Mr. Ledoux, I'm gonna preheat the oven here. Oh, sorry, Matt. We gotta give you a bunk bed. So right here like this. Spray that up on the spot. All right, Mr. Ledoux, adults, they can be proactive. It's one of our 7 habits we're working on here. We can be consistent. So using the same language when they're in the red zone, blue zone, or the yellow zone, or at the office, or if they're down in the cafeteria, have the same zone vocabulary, and then be a model.
What?
We know that sometimes we get in the red zone unexpectedly. How do we handle ourselves? How do we teach our kids by being a model? Mr. Ledoux, talk about what adults can do.
Thank you. First of all, we can be proactive, and we also need to be consistent. We need to, no matter where we are, no matter what zone we're in, we need to be consistent with our language. And then the third thing is that we need to model it as well. Kids need to be able to look at us to be modeling these behaviors and these zones.
Awesome. Thank you. Give who's up. Give him a classic woo. Woo!
Woo!
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so where to start? What can you do now? Try just to use the zones with your own emotions or with your own children. Just try it out. Think of ways you can use sentence starters and virtual instruction. Think about how you can do we talked about doing do now when there's that lag time of some students are in, some students aren't. These are some things that kids can easily do. And it's not an extra thing. And then create virtual displays to share with students from day one. Spark some curiosity. Have it up in your background. What is that back there? Oh, let me tell you about that. Tomorrow, come back, ready to learn. Get curious. Okay, don't just give it to them for free. That's it. I got a lot of this from Chris Curry. He trained us at LaSalle. Whole Brain Teaching, Coach B. Again, go to wholebrainteaching.com. But my email is right there. It's also my Twitter handle. Tim, yes, movie is Inside Out. And then Deborah, I'll just get the slides in here now. Are there questions or anything? What questions do you have? We have 2 minutes before they're late for the next session. Let me see here. First, let me stop screen sharing. Brad, you were great. I really appreciate you joining us. Dad, I'm just glad I got to see you and talk to you.
Good to see you. Both of you. All of you. Good to see you.
Everybody. See you, Chad.
Now you got to join my session later on in the week.
Okay.
I'm there.
What, are you Thursday?
I'm Thursday, yeah. Yeah.
Seth, how are you?
Oh, great. Learn lots. Had lots of fun.
Are you fired up now?
We're getting ready to go live with Jonathan. He's all the way in New York. It's kind of fun. We started on the West Coast with Ken, and then we had Kim in Texas, Ben in Indiana. Now we're going east with Jonathan. Busy day here for me. I'm traveling all over.
How do you get this so fast?
You're a superstar, Seth.
Stupid star? Superstar.
Yeah, whatever.
Calm.
All right, people. I thank you. I thank you. And I'm turning this off. How do I put in the comments?
There you go.
It's like being on a Zoom call.